Hello there, lovely people. This is me, Ashley, sending you my love from whatever reality I'm in, to you in whatever reality you happen to find yourself in today. Right, so this video today is one I've been wanting to make for quite some time, but with one thing and another, and literally other Mandela effects hitting me in the face all the time, I've been putting it off and making other ones. So I decided to grab a few minutes of your time and share with you my thoughts about global warming. Now, I know that lots of people think it's a massive conspiracy theory, which maybe in your reality it is a massive conspiracy theory. But that's the thing, at the moment we're all experiencing completely different realities. The North Pole is back for me and has been back for months. So everything that global warming we were at risk from global warming in our other original reality, here where I am at the moment, it's all massively coming true. Now, this is where we really do have to respect each other's feelings, because your reality, a lot of you are still in the reality where there is no North Pole. So how can there be global warming where there is no North Pole? How can there be, how can this be happening when there is no North Pole in the first place? So of course, global warming is going to be a different thing entirely in that reality to the one that I'm in right now. And this is where I want to talk. This is, I'm 54. And back in the day when I was a child, we're in the middle of October. In the middle of October when I was a child, if you fell over while you were playing on on grassland and things, you'd end up lacerated because the ground was that frozen so far down that any mud had frozen. You'd cut yourself. Seriously, cut yourself. Bonfire night on the 5th of November. We used to go out to watch the bonfires and the fireworks, wrapped up in so many layers, with gloves, mittens, 4 pairs of socks on, boots, scarves, hats. Now, in the middle of December, we're outside in a lightweight jacket. Now, in October, 13 to 15 degrees is normal. They're talking about it like it's always been that way. 15 degrees in October is not normal. Now, I remember quite categorically that the last time we had 4 distinctly different seasons was in 1995. 1995. And back then, we'd already been told that in 20 years, the winters would be much milder, that there was a risk of melt, and that we'd lose glaciers, and they were saying that this was going to happen in 20 years. And in 1995, still having the same seasons as we always had. And God, I miss them. So we couldn't even believe that, to be honest. We thought they were being a bit scaremongery. We didn't really believe it could possibly change, never mind change that quickly. Without any massive natural thing happening like a volcanic winter or something. Global warming does not change on its own like that within 20 years with no major thing having happened. So in the 90s, we couldn't even imagine it where we're at now with the walking around in December with a lightweight jacket on. We couldn't imagine that happening, and yet here we are, where all the seasons pretty much run into each other. Here in Britain especially, I don't know what it's like for you in other parts of the world, but here in Britain it's atrocious. We barely get a summer anymore. We did not like when we were children, when summer was summer and we were out playing in hot weather. And it's not that we have, I miss that. I miss autumn, being in autumn, starting to get cold and freezy. You know what I mean? Now there's no frost. And I'm in the north. I'm not in the south, I'm in the north. So I think that, also right now where I am, I've been thrown into a reality where the Extinction Rebellion's going on massively, especially here in Britain. We've totally taken it all on board, and protesters are disrupting things, which we have to, I wholeheartedly uphold their actions, to be honest, because politicians talk out their arse about how much they're doing. It's our lives that are at risk, our grandchildren's lives that are at risk, the future of our families, the future of the population of the world is at risk because of arseholes in governments that are tied to business and they think more of now and business profits. That's what it boils down to. And anybody that's a little bit fed up about not being able to quite get to work on time because somebody is like on the, stopping the train from going briefly, get a frigging grip, will you? Because quite frankly, where I am at the moment, it's, we've lost 2 glaciers this year. 2 glaciers, one in Greenland and one in Iceland. We've been warned, the United Nations has warned that everybody around the globe, or on the flat earth, or wherever you happen to be, but everybody that is near the coast is in peril. In peril. There's a glacier melting, and I think it's in Pakistan. And when that stops, that supplies billions of people with water. What happens when that stops? And you're worried about getting to work, and you're going on and on and on about conspiracy theories and how it's not man-made, and how it's all, some of it is probably natural. But you only have to look at the statistics about how carbon has gone up. Carbon dioxide has gone up since us Brits started the Industrial Revolution. And quite frankly, I'm sorry about that. Because we fucked it. We fucked it completely. And on the reality that I'm in right now, with the North Pole, icy, but rapidly shrinking, it's at the lowest minimum it's ever been this year. This year it's the lowest ice minimum in the summer that it's ever been. And we've lost glaciers. Now that's the reality that I'm living in. You might still, your reality might be different, but please stop going on about bloody conspiracy theories where they're trying to get money out of us or get us to spend more money. Have you heard yourselves? Where I'm at, it's an actual real threat and a risk. And we have definitely done something to aid in that. It might have started off being natural, but my God, it isn't natural anymore. So that's that's where I'm at really with the global warming thing. I think it's because we're all living through different realities. I really do. And, a very good friend of mine denies there is anything melting at all. He says that there's a picture of a polar bear on a piece of ice melted. He said it's photoshopped, it's not real. I mean, that kind of talk is just bloody ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? He really doesn't. But maybe you see, this is another thing that's leading me, and this is going to be a video I'm going to be making at some point, is, are we all seeing different things at the same time in the same space? I don't know. This is something I've been toying with at the moment. But with global warming, people that think it's just an out-and-out conspiracy theory and that nothing's melting, maybe that's because you're in a reality where there isn't anything to melt. Could be that. But please have respect for each other. We're not living in the same realities anymore. And, oddly enough, what proved that to me, now that I actually understand about the Mandela effect, when Puerto Rico, there was, I think it was Puerto Rico, there was a massive disaster, and President Trump didn't understand how many states there were in America where I was at that present time. And people were laughing at him because he didn't understand how many states there were in America. So maybe we are. I mean, I know that we're living realities, different realities, and sharing the same space. In as far as technology is concerned, we're definitely sharing the same space. We're able to communicate with each other with vastly different realities. So I think that that's what's going on. I think that the climate change deniers, hoax, conspiracy theory scenario basically comes from the fact that we're living in different realities. And you're obviously, so you're not living in mine. Quite a lot of you still haven't got the North Pole back. So to you, and if you come from that place where it's been always like that, how the hell are you supposed to believe there's such a thing as global warming? See what I mean? So it's just a thought, really. I mean, If for you global warming isn't real, then I think it's probably because you're living in a different reality. So just, remember that, quite like I've said before, and it's upsetting because wherever I move, I'm not going into a better world. I'm going into a worse and worse world. I'm never getting into something that's absolutely glorious and lovely. It's getting worse. It's full of more hate. There are more disasters. There are so many disasters go around that have happened in just this year alone around the world. The news aren't telling you about any of it. Unless it's a massive tsunami or something, you don't get to hear about all the earthquakes and all the disasters that are going on. You have to find that out by watching YouTube channels. But there's been massive disasters all over the place. But maybe that's because the realities aren't having those disasters. That's my point. They're all mixed at the same time. Everything's mixed at the same time. We're not living the same reality at all. I caught Sliders, the first. It was being shown on TV, the first ever Sliders, and in it they were saying that you slide from different dimension to different dimension, but it stays the same day and the same time. Although, quite frankly, our time has like wobbled about quite a lot for us, hasn't it? I've experienced time slips quite a lot. I had another one yesterday where 2 hours was gained out of nowhere. Don't understand that one. So anyway, that's my thoughts about climate change. I think we're just experiencing different realities at the same time, and that for some people there is no such thing as climate change, and for others there is. I think it's that simple. So, don't just go, oh, there's no such thing as climate change, you're an idiot, and it's all a conspiracy theory, because I don't think it is a conspiracy theory, because the place that I'm on at the moment is shit. It's shit. That's why you've got Greta having set up, spoken out, and the whole world, young people, old people, are all realising that, this has actually happened. We're losing so much ice here that people have to speak out. So if you're living in a reality where there's all this climate change protest going on, and in your reality you can't really understand why, that's because you're living in a different reality. But are you living in a different reality on the ground with the people? Are we seeing the same thing at the same time in the same space? No, that's a certain fact. Not online, but is it happening as well in real life, where the reality that we're living on is in the same space as each other, but we're seeing different things in the same... I don't know, it's all getting very complicated, and that's one, like I said, that's a video I want to make next time. A very mind-blowing one, that one. But that's my thoughts about climate change. I've got the North Pole all iced over, reducing massively. It's horrible where I am, and where you are, you might not be having and experiencing the same thing. So of course, to other people, it isn't real. Just my thoughts on the matter, guys. Let me know what you think. And I will be speaking to you soon. I've got a little bit of time in the minute where I'm able to. So thank you very much once again for listening, for finding me. Thank you so much for finding me. I'd be totally and utterly lost without you. Completely and utterly lost without you. So thank you for your love, support, kindness, and just for being here. Till next time, lovely people. I love you all.